Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to remove the cover from our clutch. As we look around in here, we've got quite a bit of oil that has come out, probably from the rear main seal. We also have some water down in here. Now that's from when I washed it off before we brought it in. We took the loader off and we took the hood off and all that, and I went out there and hosed it down with the garden hose, and water got in the two vents that are up here on either side, these two holes. Of course, the caps aren't on them anymore, and water got squirted in there, and I think that's pretty much where that water came from. I don't think that it has any type of a leak as far as the cooling system is concerned. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this thing loose. Now you're supposed to take nuts, which we have here, and put them between the released levers and your case here. And that will allow for the springs to remain in this position. We may have to do this as we loosen it up. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is these springs are going to keep pushing on the plates, and you're going to be backing your bolts out, and you're going to run out of bolt length, and this thing's going to pop out, and then it's going to be all jacked up. You're not going to be able to put it back on, you know, because the bolts simply aren't going to be long enough. So we're going to take this and loosen these up a bit around here. We want to go around this thing, every other one. Get loosened up here so that we don't distort the thing at all, because that would not be good. None of these really seem to be sticking, do they? Let's see if we've got another set of... Oh, the nuts appear to be ram hole. Like I said, now I just heard the friction plate. If we look up in here, you can see how it has dropped down. That's why you have to have a clutch alignment tool when you realign this thing, because the plates, of course gravity will pull the plates down, and subsequently you know, they'll be on the bottom. They won't line up for the shafts to go through there. I actually, during the restoration, had a clutch alignment tool manufactured per the drawing in the service manual. Sweat. Okay, so these are all loosened up. And the nuts are all pretty well secured in there, it would appear. So we'll take our bolts out. That's the bolt that you're looking at that holds it on. Well, maybe an inch long. Okay. Ah, I dropped my disc. Oh, shit. All right. Dropped my disc. Well, so there is our friction disc right there. We'll take a look at this stuff here once we get it out. There's no oil on it. No oil at all on it, which is good. The plate here, well, again, it's all in pretty good shape. A little bit of dust in there, but that would be expected. Now here is the separator plate, and it is spring loaded to slide in and out. I'm just going to use a Sharpie marker here. I'm going to clean that off, and I'm just going to mark up here and also down here. Depending on who you talk to, some people say they need to be marked because they got to go back together the way they came apart. Others say it doesn't matter. I figure mark it. That's the easy thing to do, you know. And then when you put it back together, you know. Now we do want to put, boy, we want to make a double mark here because we want it to line up properly. And I'll put another mark over here. And these marks are away from our pattern here where our discs are grabbing a hold of it. And it slides out. Not too bad there either. We'll set this aside. And this is the PTO clutch. And there again, everything, I mean, there's no oil on this clutch at all. Inside our splines there's no oil, and all around here there's no oil. So our clutch is not getting oil into it, which is a good thing. All right, so that takes us down to the flywheel, which is in here. And we will take care of that when we come back. So we have these metal locking tabs, come on light, on each of our 4 bolts here. So you just take a flat screwdriver, push it in there and pry it out and push it back away so that you can get your socket on there. And you're gonna want to do that with all 4 of them. That's just, the locking tabs help hold them in place. Kind of an anti-rattle thing, I guess. And that way the nuts, you know, they won't loosen up on you. So we'll do that like so, and all of them are pushed away. So now we got our 4 nuts that come off of the back of our crankshaft. All right, so I've wedged in a little block down here at the bottom, as you can see, in between our housing and stuff. We're just going to crack these things loose, hopefully without that spinning too much. Now, on the 880, you do not have to remove the starter to remove the flywheel, which is good. But I believe on the 990, you have to remove the starter to get the flywheel out of there. That's just a, well, technically it's a 1 by, it's 3/4 of an inch thick, and it'll wedge down in here in this housing. Because if you don't, the thing's going to spin. Well, you also want to remove your springs. These are the separator plate springs. We want to take those out because, yeah, we'll end up losing them if we don't. Put them over there. Remove the nuts off of the back of the flywheel. like so. And we have, oh, now looky there, we got some oil coming off there. Yeah, look at that. Okay, set that aside. Our locking tab off of there. And it's got oil on it. So that's engine oil. You can tell by the smell and the fact that it's black. And we're coming through that hole or that bolt there, and we're coming off of that bolt there. We can see it running down. If we get you in here a little closer. Right there you can see the drip. It's coming through there, and it's coming through that one there as well. So the oil is coming from our engine seal. It is bad. The rope seal. There's our bearing. It's still okay. So it actually can run through that, obviously through the holes in the flywheel. Those bolts, those studs, and we'll see this in a minute. It's on your the end of the crankshaft. The flange on it has you know, that on there. So yeah. Alrighty. So I've made a makeshift puller here. We have a couple of long carriage bolts. It's 3/8 to go into the flywheel. We have a couple of nuts here. We'll just draw this thing back, hopefully. Hopefully it'll just slide off of there. Matter of fact, I will put a couple of the nuts on here, just so if it pops, we want it to be loose, but I don't want it to come off because it'll hurt me because it's heavy. Let's put all the nuts back on there. So I'm putting the original nuts back on, but they're loose, so this thing can pop loose, but not come off of the studs, because I don't want it to land in my lap. Safety first, right? All right, so kind of got this thing loosened up now. I'm gonna take it out of here. Take our nuts off of here. Put them up there. Actually, I'm gonna get some. This thing weighs a ton, so we're gonna go ahead and try to work it off of here. Work it off of our bolts. Slide. Drop this thing out of here. All right, and we're gonna get him up here. Oh boy, and yeah, I got nowhere to put it. If we bring our light over here, yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Oil all over everything. I'll say it's got to be that rear main seal that is leaking in there. Kind of hard really to, I mean, there's oil all over that sucker right there. It smells like engine oil. Definitely smells like engine oil. All right, well, we'll have to investigate this and proceed on.